à vontade.
Okay, so welcome to everybody. So today you will start with the presentations with the beneficiaries of work missions. And after you have another international member that he is Professor João Varela, that at 11 a.m. that you present. So first, I would like just to say that, it's not a movie. Just to inform that after each presentation, everyone are able to make questions, and you can do this using the option of raise the hands, that when you raise your hands, you can see and after invite you to make the question, or you can use it to make a question.
Andrea, just a second. I would appreciate if everyone turns the microphone off while we're speaking. Otherwise, Andrea, you can turn the microphone off if you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Usually I turn on, but sorry. Okay. So now we will start with the presentation of Vilásia Martins. He did a mission in Cornell University. So Vilásia, please.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. I will share my screen.
Yes, just stop sharing.
Okay.
So in this meantime, I will introduce you. Professor Vilásia Martins is an associate professor at Federal University of Rio Grande and teaches classes for the undergraduate course in food engineer and also for the food engineer and science graduate program. His research interest is in the development of sustainable food. I need to
just
stop
a second again. I would again kindly ask everyone who has the microphone on, please turn it off.
Sorry. Okay, so please, I will now take care of the microphones because I can turn off the. Okay, please, Professor Vilásia.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to share some experience that I had at Cornell University in my visit to this university that was supported by CAPES PrInt. As Andrea said before, I'm Vilásia Martins. I'm a professor at the School of Chemistry and Food Engineer at FURG. And also I'm a professor at the graduate program in Food Engineering and Science. Just for you to have an idea, where is Cornell University, is in the state of New York. And the city that is Cornell University is Ithaca. Ithaca is around 300 kilometers from New York City and is very close to Canada also. This is a picture of the campus of Cornell University. It's a very old campus, and also the buildings the structure of the buildings are seems old, but they are very beautiful and conserved. The campus is very huge, it's very big, and for food science or food technology is the one of the universities that has more research and also more famous, let's say, with food technology. This is the building of the Stocking Hall that is the Department of Food Science. That is the building that I went to visit some professors that I will show you after. And we can see here two different buildings in the picture below, an old building and also a new building. then we can see how this department grow. First of all, they have just the old building for the whole Department of Food Science. And after some years, they construct the new building that maybe is 4 or 5 times bigger than the old one. That the new building, they have a lot of different laboratories and also some industrial plants. Why I went to this university and to this department? At that time, I went to Cornell University in 2019. And in that time, I had a student that was Viviane Romani, that was there doing her sandwich of her PhD. She got a scholarship from Fulbright, and then she was there with a professor that is called Julie Goddard. And Julie worked with different things, but among them with polymeric materials. That is the topic that I have interest in, because I work with food packaging in general. And then Vivi told me about Julie's research and the department and the laboratories. And then I became interested to go there and see the research of Julie, and of course to know all the structure of the Department of Food Science. My visit was between end of April and beginning of May in 2019. I lost one day because I had my flight canceled in the first day, but okay, I could do my visit as well. And then during this week, Julie scheduled a lot of different activities for me. Among them, some meetings with her and her students, visits to the labs, meetings with other professors, lecturers, and classes. Telling you a little bit about my activities there. Of course, I had a lot of meetings with Julie, but I also had some meetings with other professors. And then I bring you here 2 of them. One, it was Sam Nugent. He worked with biosensors for the detection of pathogenic organisms in water and food products. And also I met Carmen Muraro. She worked with no thermic process, and also with engineering properties of different kind of foods. And both of them showed open for future collaborations, to send the students or to do some kind of projects together, what was very positive for us. I also attend some classes, some lectures. I attend one graduate class with Julie that was, the theme was active packaging. That is something that I'm very interested in. And also I went to a lecture that she gave at the chemical engineering department that also was from material science. Then was interest for me, and I went with her to this lecture. I visited many labs when I was there, and I just bring here some pictures from the plants that they have inside of the building that I showed before. And then I have here the cheese plant and also the milk plant. That is something very interesting because they produce a lot of kinds of dairy products here, cheese, milk, yogurts, and others. And they sell this product inside of the university for the students and for the staffs. They can't commercialize this product out of the university, then they just sell for the people from the university. They also have a very nice kitchen in the department that the students can test different kinds of food products, what I thought very, very interesting, because they have the equipment that they can use and try different formulations. Of course, they have a lot of different kinds of laboratories that are very similar to the ones that we have here. And then I just bring the pictures of the industrial plants. Cornell has a farm that they can grow the cows, and then they have milk from this farm to make to produce the dairy products. And also they have another campus that stay in Geneva, that is another city in the state of New York. And Geneva is from like 50 kilometers more or less from Ithaca. And I went there also to know the campus. And it's a very interesting place. They have in this campus what they call the scale up area for develop food products. They have a kind of industry inside of the university, and then they can develop products for the industries, the local industries. Then you can go into the university and say, for example, oh, I want to develop apple juice with more vitamins, for example. And then the university develop this product. They have a lot of industrial equipment. And then after some time, they give it to the person that wants this product, all the formulation and all the parameters of the process. It's very interesting. And it's a kind of activity that the university can have some more money, can make money, and also you can keep the whole plant that they have to develop this product. It's very interesting, this kind of business, let's say. I went to another lecture that was very interesting, and then I bring here. Julie gave a lecture together with the White House chef at that moment. No, it was not at that moment, because this guy, I don't remember his name, but he was the chef of Obama when Obama was president. And then they did a connection between the polymers and the polymers that you use to make a pie. Then the title of the lecture was Polymers in Pie. And as we can see in the picture, we have a table with many things on that. Then during the lecture, they was relating the polymers with a pie and also making a pie. In the end of the lecture, we could eat the pie. It was very interesting, because I thought that my feeling is that sometimes we need this kind of interaction with the science, the chemistry, with the real thing that you are developing, you are doing. Then it was a very nice example of this. But after all the things that I showed to you, I think that the most important were the opportunities that Julie gave to me to continue this collaboration. She said that the doors are open for new collaborations. If I want to send new students or do some projects together. She also invited me to spend some time there, making a course or co-advise her students or learn a new technique. I can do what else I want. And unfortunately, she was scheduled to come to PrInt-FURG in 2021, but because of the pandemic, we need to postpone this date. And I hope that she can come in the future. And I just need to say thank you for CAPES Print program that support me to go to this visit that was very important to me. And also I want to thank Julie and her team that in the last day she invited me to her house to a dinner with all her group that are in this picture here. And then thank you everybody to listen to me, and I'm glad to answer any question that you have.
Thank you, Vilásia. Very nice to see the potential for future collaborations with this group. I have a question, and before, I don't know if there's anyone with the hands raised, but as I cannot see, I will make a first question. Yesterday, Montserrat showed some experiments that they are doing with acai as food ratio for shrimp, and that it can add antioxidants to the shrimp. I wonder if this kind of things that we develop here in PrInt-FURG, the work that you perform, all the food science team perform here at university, could expand to this sort of experiment that they do. They sell to students, but here we could add perhaps to the food that is provided to people at the hospital or even in the university restaurant, and follow a cohort and see, because I suppose that, for example, shrimp or fish, there are some students that don't like fish or shrimp. And so you could have the control and the experiment and follow a cohort for 4 years. That is the term that the students stay at the university. And do you think it's feasible, or I should return to land and stop orbiting? I don't know if Jose is here, and this is a broad question that anyone, but do you think it's feasible to use some experiment that add properties to the food, and we provide to our students and follow a cohort for 4 or 5 years?
Thank you for your question, Edu. Yes, I think that's feasible. I don't know how to put it in action, let's say, because of the sanitary regulations. Because, for example, when we develop a food product in the lab and we want that someone else tests this, that we call sensory evaluation, we needed to send a project to the ethics committee. Then they can say to us, okay, you can test this product with, I don't know, 100 people, for example. But I think that is very feasible, and I think that we need to use this knowledge to do this kind of action. We are using also the extract from acai seed in our lab. But at this time, I'm using this for my packagings and not direct to some kind of food. But of course that we can use, and I think that we need more this kind of interaction between the labs, what are being developed in the labs, and what we can do for the university community. Because for example, in this kind of lab that I showed you, that they produced milk, yogurt, cheese, and what else, they sell in the bar of the university there. And I think that we can develop some kind of product. Okay, we can sell also, but not. But we can use not in the university restaurant, for example. We don't need to sell at all what we can develop. But I think that it will be great if you can do this kind of thing to do. We can work in this direction. Maybe we can do something.
Yes, because that's the whole idea of, at least what I had in mind when we were drafting the proposal, the PrInt project, that we should interact between or among the groups that are in the PrInt projects. For example, if we prospect a food from any marine organism, and we detect that this organism has good properties for, I don't know, anything in our physiology, and we provide this food, for example, to the hospital or to the university restaurant, and check with blood tests the control and the experiment, and see if there is, of course, there are other variables that influence, that they are feeding outside university, but at least if you have a good sample size, perhaps we can detect some improvement in the blood parameters. It's just a dream, or I don't know if it's feasible or not, but we should, I think we should discuss further.
Yeah, but maybe the dreams come true. We never know.
Yeah, remember the project with Georgie with spirulina? Is a good example. They use the cyanobacteria to feed the kids in the schools, in local schools. They use the product to prepare different things.
Yes, it's exactly in that line, Luís. Yes,
yeah,
good point.
Yeah, then
good
this
point.
Is possible.
No. We are doing the same thing with açaí too.
Yeah,
we have the BILIC project, and we are adding açaí in a lot of food, and we intend to add in feed too.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a cohort and follow.
Yeah, I will search Montserrat.
Okay. There, could you stop the sharing, or Vilásia? So
yes.
Please.
Just a moment here. Why?
I can do here. I'm doing. Okay.
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 Is there any other question from the audience? No, so go ahead, Andrea.
So our next presentation is
we're not listening to you.
Sorry. Just a moment. But I'm not mute.
Thank you, Vilásia.
You're still not listening?
You are welcome.
No, you're not. We can listen you. Yeah. No, we are listening you. No, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, because I was not mute. So our next
again.
I don't know why.
The connections fail.
I think that the problem is the connection. I think that I'm with problem with connection because I'm not.
Oh, I can continue here. Yeah. So the next speaker is Professor Sampaio. Sampaio, welcome. Andrea has a summary of your background, so I don't know if Andrea can read that. Do you have the connection now, Andrea? No, so go ahead, Sampaio.
I can introduce myself.
Yes.
Well,
please.
My name is Luís André Sampaio. I'm a professor of marine fish culture at the Institute of Oceanography at PrInt-FURG. And I went on a mission to Norway to the kickoff meeting of a project that PrInt-FURG has approved with the European Union within the scope of Horizon 2020. Let me read the title of this project. It's New Species, Processes and Products Contributing to Increased Production and Improved Sustainability in Emerging Low Trophic and Existing Low and High Trophic Aquaculture Value Chains in the Atlantic. Well, it is AquaVitae for short. We have 37 institutions, partners in this project, coming from Europe, Africa, Brazil, the US, and Canada. Within Europe, there are several countries: Portugal, Spain, Norway, Germany, Sweden. Well, 20 countries among all. This project funded by the European Union. It has a budget of $8 million. FURG will get approximately 150 to 200,000 euros, I mean. And most of this money is for meetings and some courses. And some of the money is actually for research. But anyway, this kickoff meeting was held in Tromsø, Norway. So this was kind of a different mission from the PrInt perspective. We didn't really go to this mission to visit a university and to interact with professors at a specific university. We had the chance to meet people from these 37 institutions, and during coffee breaks and dinners, we could talk about about PrInt, and so a lot of people now know about this initiative from Brazil and the capabilities that FURG has to offer for exchange students and well, all the stuff within the scope of PrInt. This project, AquaVitae, is to be continued for another couple of years. And since then, I have had several online meetings. And actually, there was one meeting in Germany just before the pandemics. So I believe FURG is being well known among all these institutions. So even though if it was not a classic working mission within PrInt, I believe that we reached even more people than a specific trip to some university. So I believe we really made a difference with this being part of the kickoff meeting of the project. For this project, I had Eduardo coming along with me, representing the university, and I had the chance also to visit some universities in Tromsø. So there was actually some specifics contacts, but the main purpose of the mission was to participate in this meeting and get to know all the people working with the AquaVitae project. I believe I have a little bit more time, and what I would like to emphasize here is the importance of living abroad, which is really what PrInt is about. I could shortly mention some of my history. I was a high school exchange student back in the 80s. And that made a lot of difference for me in my whole life and the academic life. Mainly because of learning English. And so I strongly advise people, our students, to look for English-speaking countries. I had a student of mine going to Spain. It was really good, his experience, but he did not have the chance to improve his English. So I believe that besides the experience abroad, if you can really work on your English, it's really important for your future in your career. So whenever I have another student applying for a sandwich, I would strongly advise him or her to choose a country where that they could improve their English. And so it's not that I had a postdoc in the Netherlands. I never learned Dutch, but the whole country speaks English. So it's okay if you go to a country where English is well spoken in the streets and mainly at the university. So I think this is very, very important. More than the techniques that you learn abroad is to be fluent in English and writing, talking, using the capacity to think in English. That would be the main an extra for your experience abroad. So I think that was what I had to say this morning, and thank you.
Thank you, Sampaio. You mentioned that this was not a typical mission within the PrInt, but it's also we can also use conference or scientific meetings for our missions. The idea of the mission is actually to make contacts and improve partnership and strengthen partnerships that already exist and expand some collaboration. So I think this mission to Norway was well done, and as you said, there were at least 37 institutions that you could talk about and strengthen collaboration. Could you tell a little bit more about the specific part of your project within AquaVitae? What is your research with raising fish at EMA?
Well, the scope of this project is to develop new species or improve existing species in aquaculture. And we originally were working with flounder. We run an experiment already. It was part of the master's student work, Ingrid, supervised by Marcelo Tesser. So this was one experiment that we used it for in our graduate program, and also part of the project. And then now we included another species, the miragaia, the black drum. And so we are working with reproduction and larviculture of this miragaia. And with juveniles, we have experiments planned with determining the protein requirement and the lipid requirements for this species. And we mainly, we also have the opportunity to have some missions from Europe here to FURG, and from FURG to Europe for some analysis and also for some lectures. So it's within the scope of the project, this interaction with people visiting the laboratories. Of course, this last year and a half, all the traveling was stopped, and as the borders are now kind of opening, we might have the chance to bring some researchers here for some lectures, and get some of us to go to Europe also to show what we are doing over here.
Okay, thank you. Andrea, how is your connection?
Hello, are you listening?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know what happened because, but look, your internet connection is unstable for me. So I hope that I don't have more problem. And now I would like to invite Professor Luís Poersch. So Professor Luís Poersch.
Minor man.
Minor man. I tried to control myself. Minor man. And he's currently associate professor at the Institute of Oceanography at the Federal University of Rio Grande, where he is professor in the course of Oceanology, Biology, and in the postgraduate program in aquaculture. He has experience in fisheries, research, and biological oceanography with emphasis on shrimp farming, and work mainly on the following topics: that shrimp farming, social and environmental impact of aquaculture, effluent treatment, multi-trophic crops, and cultivation alternative structures for artisanal fishermen and rural producers. So please.
Thank you, Andrea. I will share my screen.
Yes.
Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. I prepare a short presentation.
Could
Yeah.
you click again on the presentation form?
Yeah. Okay.
No. Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So I prepare a short presentation. In 2019, we went to Belgium. And I said we because I'm traveled with Professor Wilson Wasilewski and Marcelo Pias. Marcelo Wilson is from the Oceanographic Institute, and Marcelo worked in the with computer science. So we went to Brussels, and we stay in the we had a meeting in the consulate of Norway to talk about the project about multi-trophic culture systems. So during these 2 days, we define the actions to submit to Community European. Different from Sampaio. This is not kickoff. This moment was the preparation project. So we define our actions during this meeting. And in this project, we have 16 research centers. Only PrInt-FURG from Brazil, another one in Argentina, El CONICET, We have partners from Africa and Nigeria and South Africa. And of course, a lot of countries or research centers in Europe, from Ireland, Scotland, Norway, Portugal, Spain, France. Yes, I think so. So the project was approved last year. Then we received similar amount from the AquaVitae project, close to 8 million euros. And FURG are responsible to manage around 600,000 euros. And the project started last year in September. And this project is related to Belém statement that work with different countries in the Atlantic and aimed to develop the aquaculture in this case in these countries. And the project's being part of our Atlantic Ocean research. If you have more interest, you can use the site astralproject.eu to know more about the project. So this is our first action in Brussels. So after 2 days, we traveled to Dendermonde. And Dendermonde, we visit INV Aquaculture. This is a big company. This is a very important company that work with feed production to shrimp, fish, especially during the larviculture process. And in this company, we prepared 2 presentations. Okay, one presentation was about EMA, that we show our facility, because if they know our facility, we can start improve our relation. Okay, so the first presentation is show our facility, and then the other one was show the post-graduation opportunities, because they work a lot of scientists, including students or professionals from FURG that work in this company, and they are interested in in post-graduation program. And after our visit, we finish the research agreement, and the company sent us some feeds to make some experiments here in our lab. And during this period, basically 2 months, we received people from the enterprise, the INVI. So in this picture, you can see the 3 people on left. These people are from INVI. The first one worked in Brazil. The second one in blue t-shirt is from Ecuador, and the girl with EMA t-shirt in green is from Thailand. The name is, I don't know the name, I don't know the pronunciation, so we name May. They work with us during this period and then come back to his country with results. With these experiments, we had 2 master theses. I forgot the H in the thesis, sorry, and prepared 2 publications in this moment. The other visits, we stay in Envy, in Dendermonde for 1 day. In the morning, we prepare, we had one presentation. In the afternoon, we had another one. And another day, we visit Ghent University, where we meet Peter Bossy. This is responsible for the Artemia Research Center. And this professor, we had some relation with this professor. We sent in 2018, we sent a student, Barbara Hostings, to make a sandwich in this university. And then we focus our relation with this professor or this university. We have one student in this moment in Ghent University with possibility to obtain double titulation. Okay, and we stay there during 1 day. So they show us the lab, and we have 2 presentations too. We show our university and our facility, and the same presentation about the post-graduation opportunities. So they ask us about to send the students, but asking if we had financial support to the students, and unfortunately, we say no, we don't have. We have money only to Brazilian students. But maybe in the future, with the Astral project, we can receive students from Europe, maybe from Ghent University. And we have agreement, a research agreement with this university, and one PhD thesis with double titulation, as I told you. And we have some publications with this professor, and in the future, maybe more. So we emphasize that we receive students from other countries like Argentina, Uruguay, Spain, Peru, Colombia, but basically Latin American students. But we would like to receive students from Europe, especially from Ghent. But after this travel, started the pandemic, the problem with the COVID. So we don't know what will happen in the future. Maybe we can receive students from them. I think that's all. If you have questions, I will be happy to answer. Thank you, Edu, and thank you for CAPES for the opportunity to contact these people.
Thank you, Mineiro. Do the people from Ghent know that we don't charge any fee for students, right? He was, yes. Well, I suppose he was interested for scholarship, right?
Yeah. I use this information to call people to work with us, because in our part in Europe they need to pay fees. In the United States, in Canada, is the same. So we use this, but until now.
Yeah, that would be a good idea to have funding from Astral or other European Union projects to sponsor students to come because it's a very good advantage that we provide by not charging any academic or administrative fee at PrInt-FURG. So in all state universities here in Brazil.
During our presentations in INVI and in Ghent University to students in the Ghent, from Ghent, we emphasize this. You don't need to pay anything, and you will receive possible maybe a fellowship from Brazilian government. But if you try to enter in our program with Brazilian students too.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Nero, could you please stop sharing, or Andrea, so we can see if there is any hands raised?
I pushed the button, but I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so no questions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Okay, so now I will present the work missions in our project. I'm going to share. It's okay. Okay, so
yes,
I'm introduce myself. So I'm Andrea, and I'm associate professor at Faculty of Medicine and teach classes of microbiology to biology course, nurse course, and medicine course, and also I am permanent professor at health science graduation program, and my main interest is related to microbiology, more specific in studies of mechanism of resistance to antimicrobial, diagnose methods to detect microorganisms, and also to study some in this antimicrobial mechanism resistance, and also I study the presence of some enzymes that allowed to avoid the use of the antibiotic, and this is I am studying in Mycobacterium tuberculosis and also in Enterobacteria. So the mechanism of drug resistance in different bacteria that I am studying, and in different also not in only hospital sites, but also you are studying in the environment sites. And but my work missions that I am talking here, that it was related to our project that is related the prevention and control, just to control of disease and illness that affect human health and quality of life in coastal ecosystems. So this project, I am coordinator inside of the PrInt, and in this work mission, I have in fact 2 work missions related to this project. That one is Professor Adriane. She is from the nursing school, and me, and our work mission was almost in the same period, and I am present also her work mission. He was not able to be here. So first, Professor Adriane, she went to the University of Quebec in December. She stayed there from 2 to 12 December. And me, I was in 7 institutions and universities in Portugal, Belgium, and the United Kingdom in 7 to 17 December 2019. So I'm talking about the 2 work missions. First, I am talking about the work mission of Professor Adriane. She was in this University of Quebec, where there is a department of nurse science that she visited more specifically this department. And also she had the opportunity to present the print for this, all the professors of this department. And also she scheduled some meetings with different professors, researchers there, more specifically of the Center of Studies in Research and Family Intervention with Professor Francine Montenay. And also she had a meeting with other researchers related to this research. And also she meeting with professor from the research discipline of physiosocial health of family. She visited the nursing teaching laboratory and the general hospital in Gatineau, Quebec. And also she had the opportunity to promote the print because she did an interview with a responsible for internationalization news officer, and her visit in this institute was disclosed for all professors that was there. And Professor Adriane also, she said that he established the agreement, one of these many objectives, because previously they had agreement with this university, but finished, and now he established this agreement between the University of Quebec and also the Federal University of Rio Grande. She started with these new procedures, and the idea is to strengthen the cooperation to develop research projects, and also they say that there is the possibility to do co-tutela with PhD students, and also some professor from there wants to visit, they are planning to visit here our institution. And according to Adriane, the mission was extremely important as you resume the articulation between the 2 universities, expanding internationalization, promoting the possibility of mobility to center graduate professor and students. So this is what I want to say about her mission. And also I think that Professor Mara is here and she supported the schedule of this mission. So if after she wants also to talk about this. And my mission was more specific to promote our project. So the idea it was visit several institutes and to present our project, our researchers group, and it was like a mission as a coordinator in this project. And so the idea it was in each institute or professor that and researcher that I had a meet, I present our institution, the FURG, and also our project, the institutional project, the whole institutional project, and after more specific, our projects related to human health. And also the idea to show that you want to establish, consolidate, and expand cooperation to the development of research projects, co-tutela, obtain double titulation, and also develop research and technological innovation in all related areas of the project. And so just, I am not say in details, but in each institute, I present all the projects, the whole project, and also I present our institution. And it was important because most of researchers also, they are assuming that when I was going there, and because previous I send some research that you develop here, some information, and most of them, or some of them, were think that this project was, they were think that it was the works in Porto Alegre, and I explained the main objective of the focus of our university. So here's some of the slides that I present there, and more details about PrInt-FURG, some facilities that you have in PrInt-FURG. And also the idea, it was present our specific project. And one important point that I explained that for them is why it's important to study the human health and quality of life in a coastal ecosystem. So I introduced our city, Rio Grande, and I explained that you have a maritime harbor, and also you have several chemical industries, and you have several sunlight activities, and there is also some economic cycles that that you have some periods that the financial in the city is low and others is high, and also you have an important factor that influence in the health of the populations, because you have a prison, and this impacts in the human health because you have a high incidence of sexually transmitted disease such as HIV, syphilis, and you have also infectious disease due to poverty and comorbidity associated to HIV, such as tuberculosis and other mycobacteriosis, and also other microorganisms, like yesterday, Professor Melissa talked about the mycology and mycosis. And you have also problems with respiratory disease, and also with some neoplasia related to skin. And I showed our university hospital, that is tertiary care and exclusive by unified health system. And there you have also the Faculty of Medicine and the nursing school, the graduate courses and the undergraduate courses. And since previous, I informed all the professors in our graduation program in health science, and also the nursing graduation program, and who wants that I talk about his research, they send me informations, and I introduced all that, send me the information, I introduce also there. So I present about different research groups there. And so it was also the idea to show all possibilities of research to make cooperation. And now I am showing what the institutes that I visit. It was every day I went in a different institute. It was most the opportunity to make this presentation. So first I went to Portugal, and the first day I visited the National Institute of Health, Dr. Ricardo Jorge. This institute, you don't have cooperation privilege. Professor Melissa that has a student, they're a PhD student, so I schedule a visit her, but what the Professor Cristina, Raquel, and the coordinator Professor Jorge, they informed to all the professors, researchers there, and my first day there, I did a presentation about, and here it was almost 20 researchers in different areas. And the second day in Portugal, I visited the Institute of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine that is related to the University of Nova Lisboa. And there you already had several cooperation, and the idea also to show other kinds of cooperation, but we strengthen our cooperation with them. and new possibility of research. And in the afternoon, I visited the Faculty of Pharmacy. Most these two researchers, Professor João Perdigão, he was here also, and I had the opportunity to know a researcher. Her name is Isabel, and she knows everything about the bacteria that we start to study, that is Klebsiella pneumoniae, and open new opportunities now with João Perdigão. Also, he has the possibility to whole genome sequence of this bacteria, and you are studying the hospital, and also with the possibility to find in the environment. And just to inform that we have a strong cooperation with them with tuberculosis, and most of our not only research, but our article are related to tuberculosis and mechanism of resistance with this group. And now you amplify this research. And also after I went to Belgium, and in Belgium was the place that I lived during 4 years. So there I did my PhD, and I had the opportunity to visit different research that I worked during my PhD studies. So I visited Professor Juan Carlos Palomeno, who was my co-supervisor. He retired, but Professor Anandi Martins, she was start a research in the Catholic University of Leuven, and she was working with mycobacteria, and you opened the possibility to make a cooperation, but she's not it was not a institute that she's not a professor, but research cooperation, there is the possibility. And after I visit also my promoter where I defend my thesis, that's at Ghent University. So Professor Peter Van Damme, now he is the head of all the microbiology unity, and he opened, so previously you see that Luís talk about the Ghent University. They always have the opportunity to receive a student. He showed all the new, it was a new building and with a new labs, and he said that he has everything to study. For example, if you want to characterize a bacteria that you are studying, he has all the structure. He can receive any student, and also they have interest to do co-tutela and double titulation. So it was very nice this visit him. And also one meeting that I was not programmed but I looked that I was free on Friday, and Professor Paul Coles, he works with the development of new drugs at Antwerp University. And I knew that there was a student that spent a time with him, and she did a co-tutela. So I asked her his contact, and I sent a message like 1 week previous, and he said that he had time for a lunch time, but it was very nice because also he has a facility to study, to understand all characteristics of a new drug and test it. And he has a lot of cooperation with Brazil, but most in Amazon to study some natural products. And he also said that he is very welcome to receive students. And for him also is interesting to make a cooperation of co-tutela and double titulation is important also for them. So he also opened this possibility. And my last day, I went to United Kingdom. This also was my first time there, but this group has a lot of facilities to whole genome sequencing, and you are doing some research with them and together with the University of Lisboa, and Dr. Tan Clark, he from New Zealand, but his research there, and it was also a very nice opportunity to open new research possibility with whole genome sequencing, also for mycobacterium tuberculosis and Klebsiella pneumonia. Also, they have interest, and also it was a nice meeting there. And this guy is Jody. He is postdoc, and he knows everything about to when you sequence the whole genome sequence, and you need a assembly, and he knows about this. When the idea of to have a work mission in the previous, I become coordinator, I was thinking, oh, if I have the possibility to do a work mission, I want to learn how to analyze whole genome sequencing, because I think that this is one of many topics in our area. And so I met him, and this year I have the opportunity to do a nice course that he and João Perdigão did. It was virtual, but they sent me the information, and so and also you again talk about the new possibilities, and I think that it was the idea of my mission. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. I think your mission can be used as a model for us, because you had all this strategy of presenting different research groups, not only the main research groups. You present both from regarding to the project of health in the COSAC system. You showed the nurse program and the health science program, and you showed for both programs you showed many different research groups that open or made wider the possibilities of interactions. It was a good example of how a mission can be very profitable in terms of collaboration. I think you have already shared with other coordinators, but if not, it's a good, we could share this strategy and organize internally the main research groups that are in these graduate programs and present them when we do a research mission. Thank you.
Okay.
Does anybody have any?
Just a comment. Unfortunately, it was in the end of 2019, and also I was talking with Adriane 2 days ago, and you come with a lot of ideas and the possibility to do cooperation, but the pandemic make you stop a little bit. But now I think that it's time to start again to see the possibility also to institutional agreement and with some of these institutions. And I think that for me it was because I already worked with all of them, also in Portugal. I stayed previous in 2012, 1 month there, and that time I went there thinking only my research topic, and this time it was different because previous I informed that I was as a coordinator of the project, and I got everyone that looked this presentation. I got the contact, and also there is different research from parasitology. They work with mycology, with different topics, and also I had all the contacts and to.
That's fine. That's a good strategy that we should multiply here at PrInt. We have only 15 minutes before Professor Groll gives his talk. So does anybody else has any question or any comment on this morning session? Pedro.
Oh, Pedro.
Please go ahead.
Hello, good morning, everyone. In this moment, I would like just to congratulate our presentations and the missions. Particularly, Andrea mission was excellent mission, and it was amazing to see the sun in Belgium in December. Congratulations, Andrea. Very look.
But at 2 degrees. Thank you, Pedro. Most of this partner of Pedro that so it was nice. Also, you shared several studies. Oh, there is also Vanusa.
Vanusa has the hand raised. Go ahead, Vanusa.
Morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you so much, Eduardo and Andrea, for this amazing workshop. It's very good to see how the PrInt can be great in a small time, because it's 1 or 2 years, 1 year. And Andrea, thank you so much for having been representing our university and our group in the FAMED, in the graduate course, the health science. It's very good to see how you are doing great things in FURG. Thank you so much. And I hope that the PrInt can continue. Yesterday, we could see that Melissa, in few months, did a lot in the how Eduardo told us, with a small amount of money for one research, and it's very good. Congrats for all professors and researchers that are doing it possible in a so tough moment in Brazil and the world, and we have facing a terrible time in all aspects of our lives, and mainly in science in Brazil. So thank you so much, and I truly hope that we can keep doing such a beautiful work, and I know that we can. And to this afternoon we have in graduate class, so I will not be able to participate. So thank you so much. And Eduardo, you are talking about food and health. As my special vision is in immunology and virology, but in immunology we could maybe seek some immunological parameters for inflammation, because we know that food is very important to start the inflammatory response. I don't know, I was just dreaming, because immunology is very, it's so expensive to do studies in immunology. I cannot do things that I would like, but sometimes maybe I'll be able, but not today. And maybe if we had a big project, I don't know, just to have a look in some molecules and the inflammatory cascade, I don't know, but it's very interesting. It's very interesting because inflammatory is growing up mainly with COVID-19. Inflammatory is very important in food, can start this response, I don't know.
Yes.
And,
well, first of all, Vanusa, thank you for your very kind words regarding our commitment, our dedication to print. And there is someone with the microphone.
I turn on. I turn off.
So as I was saying, Vanusa, it's quite a lot of work for us to keep to manage print, and thank you for your kind words. And we also hope that we are continue with this important program, but you know, it depends on the federal government. Regarding our second comment, that's my dream for the print. We would like to see all the university units to work together more transversely, and at least we think this is a smaller group, the print group, that are all connected with the same idea of interacting. There's several graduate programs in one project of print. The idea is that these different graduate programs work together in some specific objectives. And this example that we start talking this morning is just one example of the potential of collaboration between oceanography by prospecting a marine organism, that the people from chemistry understand some molecules, and people from aquaculture insert this component in the food. Then the people from food engineering understand what properties this organism has, and then people from health and nursery do some tests for evaluating the effect of this improvement in the food quality can be transferred to human population, and perhaps minimize the effects of some disease. It's just theoretical, but that's the spirit of the print. And hopefully there are some backgrounds here at the university, as Mineiro referred to George's studies. So we have the expertise, and we have expertise in different units, and you have to put all this expertise together. That's the spirit of the print, and that's what we are seeking. So let's hope, and let's hope that the federal government maintain print, and that we successfully keep in the loop. Thank you. Mineiro has the hands raised. Mineiro, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Only a comment to our students. You have a unique opportunity, or a huge opportunity, to travel, to live in other country, and this is probably will change your life. So please try to do. We have fellowship to travel. We have money to send you to other country. So we need you to concrete this possibility. Thank you.
Thank you, Mineiro. Well said. That's what we aim, that the young generation take the profits from this program and other opportunities to improve their science skills. And as I said yesterday, it's not only in the academic side, it's the personal side, that it's sharing experience with other cultures. You may go to any place in Europe, but you are going to interact with people from all around the world, and it's priceless. This is very important for the person, for the entire life of the person who had this
professional